You're welcome back. Well, plan, source, make, deliver, and return. This is the chain from production to consumption. But in recent times, globally, and of course, in Nigeria, there have either been delay, distortion, disruption to that sequence. And that's why one of the buzzwords for 2021 was supply disruption. And who knows, it may make it to that list again this year, just maybe. Well, let's drill down on this situation in Nigeria with co-founder Jan Tugidi, Ms. Kikelemo Ogunia.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Kikelemo. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're talking a lot about, talking a lot about supply chain disruption. Do we have it in Nigeria?
Of course, based on what's been going on recently, in recent times, following the pandemic, and even now with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, there have been a lot of supply chain disruptions from mostly international, so imports into Nigeria. There have been times that there haven't been flights. Aviation fuel has been on the rise, so prices have gone up. Our business, for example, has been impacted by higher aviation fuel prices, so that's cargo pricing have gone up, and we've had to now transfer those costs to the customer. We've also had issues with, lack of flights, actually, lack of connecting flights within Europe, because, things leave the UK and come through Europe and then into Nigeria. So when there are issues with delays, lack of airlines, backlogs being cleared, that affects the average Nigerian who is receiving goods for their business here in Nigeria.
You mentioned the diesel,
yes.
The jet fuel,
yes.
the diesel. Those we know in Nigeria cost major, and we're still feeling the impact.
Exactly.
We're talking of the, transportation price, food, everything, it fits into it.
Exactly.
What has it done to your business, business of supply?
Immediately, our diesel prices at the office have gone up, of course. It has affected everybody. So at every level, even the market women are feeling this, they're feeling the heat of this.
So you pass the price on?
Of course, we have to pass the price on, but still, trying to remain within a reasonable price point, because we understand that Nigerians are also facing it. The buying power of Nigerians has reduced, so we can't, pass all the costs to the customer. We also have to, run the numbers, and we have run our numbers in such a way that it's economical to still run the business, but also not pinch in too much into the customer's pockets.
So tell us about the impact of this on SMEs. We know that a lot of SMEs in Nigeria, they deal in imported goods.
Yes.
And you guys are in the business of helping them get it.
Yes.
Tell us the impact it's having on SMEs.
Okay, in the last few weeks, I would say the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, we've suffered some delays from some aspects of our business in the UK, and that has affected people's ability to satisfy their customers here. And the issues have arisen because of airline issues, still tied to these supply chain issues. So if the airline is having an issue, for example, parcels leave the UK, for instance, every Friday. If the date has been set for every Friday, and we know we're delivering within 7 working days, this is the promise we've made to our customer. And the customer has then planned, sourced, and, promised their customers that they will deliver within a certain timeline. But of course, once there's a glitch of missing that one Friday, it now won't leave until the next Friday. So you can imagine the aftermath of that.
How much of such situations have you had?
Oh, it's not rampant, but when it happens, it does hit. So, you asked about the impact. So there is an impact when it does happen, although it's not something that happens regularly. But there's just been a lot of uncertainty since COVID, then Brexit, and then now, the Russia-Ukraine crisis.
Then with Russia, some of the sanctions from both sides is that their air is out of space. I know I had a conversation recently that some flights have to go longer routes because they have to avoid Russian skies.
And that's more costs and higher, and more a delay in timeline in ability to deliver. So that's how wide the conflict has affected other things like Nigeria. You would think, okay, it's Russia. I have no business with Russia, but guess what? We import a lot from Russia. We rely on Russia for metal, for oil and gas resources. We rely on them for fish and other amenities, even wheat that we use for rice and other kinds of grains. So you can imagine that if we're not getting these things from Russia, that is affecting the average Nigerian. So we shouldn't look at it as, oh, they're just over there, it doesn't concern us, but it does a great deal. The value of the imports between Russia and Nigeria is almost ₦1 trillion yearly. So you can imagine that for now, that a portion of that has been cut off. and it's definitely trickling down to the average
Has that
Nigerian.
affected your business directly?
Directly, I would say the aviation fuel. That hits us directly because the price from our partners, our vendors went up. The airlines, we don't run our own planes, so the airlines, of course, had to pass on the cost of the increase in diesel. So that has affected us. And recently, we increased our prices.
We had that might drive away some of your customers.
That's the thing.
Some people might start counting the cost. So,
exactly.
If I have this cost and I pass it to my customers, can they afford? With somebody who wants to use a perfume that used to be maybe 15,000,
exactly.
will the person be ready to pay 20,000 at this time when there's bread to buy?
Exactly.
When there's rice to buy? And
so I think it's also that at this time we need to focus and hone in on that service or logistics companies generally hone in on that service you're providing, so that at least they get the value for the money they're paying. Things are tight for Nigerians at the moment. So right now is the time, more than ever before, to really drill down and make sure that all services are rendered in a fantastic way. So at least the customer knows, okay, I'm paying out of pocket for this, but it's worth it in the end.
So what about in Nigeria, transportation, logistics in Nigeria? Yeah. Are we running smoothly? Are we good with that?
Are we running smoothly? That question, it's a lot to unpack, but I will start with, local deliveries, for example. We also offer bike deliveries within Lagos, and they're running smoothly to a certain extent. We have different kinds of challenges, safety issues, bikes on the road. That's one challenge which we really can't do anything about. But have riders that are trained and know how to maneuver their way through traffic and all that. But we also have regulators on the road who I would say are doing a good job because, they're there to regulate, make sure that people have the right paperwork to be operating, make sure that people are complying. But at the same time, it sometimes serves as a spoke in the wheel of our operations, because you stop somebody for doing nothing wrong. They haven't passed one way, they haven't beat a traffic light. So just stop them, okay, ask for their paperwork. Everything is intact. Okay, let the rider go. The rider can end up staying there for about 2 hours plus. And sometimes, you have the bad eggs who extort from these riders, and that causes delays. We can't pass on that cost to our customers. And a customer is somewhere expecting delivery of XYZ, but can't receive that on time. And, delay of even 10 minutes can affect the rest of his day because you're trying to meet up with office times. Meanwhile, customers who have sold goods are relying on you to deliver. So it's a whole chain of issues. And that's just one example from local deliveries. So there's, other things, even interstate, it's the same thing. You have regulators also on the road.
So I used to think that challenge was more with the interstate delivery, one with the agency.
It's both, interstate and within Lagos. So you have local government, tax authorities, you have MOT, stopping riders on the road, LASMA, also stopping riders on the road, questioning, their paperwork, etc. So the issues are.
But do you guys have like an association?
Oh yes, there are several associations. We belong to the Association of Lagos State Courier Operators, ALSCO. We kind of try and lobby the government on behalf of bike operators, and we're making some headway. But we just need the right doors to be open for the right opportunities.
Not the right door.
Yeah, we're hoping that can happen.
All right. Well, I mean, you also have to ensure that you guys are on the right side of the law.
Exactly.
To ensure that those on the road, the riders, are people who should be on the road.
Yes.
And of course, they are registered and they go through.
Exactly. We never put a bike on the road without the accurate paperwork.
All right. So what about the issue of supply chain information? How efficient is that chain?
Okay. As you said in your opening, you talked about planning. So first of all, the customer, I'm looking at it from supply chain is huge. It can be from an individual who just needs to source something personally. It could also be a small business who needs to buy, I don't know, what kind of wares they want to sell in Nigeria. We also have the huge multinationals who are bringing things in. So supply chain information, generally business is all about information. I need to know where exactly to source from. I need to be able to plan, know when I need it here in Nigeria. Before the stock runs out here, I need to know that, okay, it's time to replenish. So it also depends on people's internal structures, knowing the kind of inventory they have, the times to buy, plan accordingly so that you don't have last-minute hitches, last-minute running around and, disappointment to your business at the end of the day. So supply chain information is out there. You just need to start planning on time. Yeah,
I think that brings in ICT.
Of course.
So you guys walk hand in hand and all that. Now, how, as a business, you're a business person.
Yes.
You're in the supply. How lucrative is it or how challenging? I mean,
how challenging, how lucrative. It's challenging and it's lucrative at the same time. In recent time, we've seen over $100 million being invested into the Nigerian logistics space by foreign investors. That's just Nigeria alone, not even Africa as a whole. So there is something there. You know, e-commerce is at an all-time rise. It's only going to get bigger. So the way people deliver items might change, but logistics is needed. There's a saying that without logistics, the world literally stops. You won't have all your camera crew here. You won't have your equipment if there was no means by which it will be delivered. So till the end of time, parcels would have to be delivered, and you would need a logistic support to be able to have that done. So when you say, is it lucrative? I would say yes, 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 always lucrative. But are there challenges? Yes. So our daily work, really, for the past 9 years we've been in business, is to just surmount those challenges as we go along, learn along the way, and, you know, bring others behind us.
And about the issue of insurance, do you have goods to be delivered, insured? I've heard a couple of stories of sometimes people claim parcels that are not there. By the time it's delivered, they said this is not what was given. You know, you have issues, conflict in the chain like that.
There's that's a big question. So for insurance, I would say yes. We have goods in transit insurance. We have marine insurance. That's different types of insurance. We have fire and burglary insurance on our office space. We have goods in transit insurance, as I said. So that's for sending things locally within Nigeria. But then there's room for customers to also take out additional insurance. It's not sustainable for our business to be able to insure your clothes and also insure someone who is buying a Rolex watch, for example. The values are different. So if you know that you're ordering designer clothing, for example, we have capped our insurance at, for example, $10. So if your dress is worth $500, you just take out additional insurance to cover your dress. So you'd have to have a cap. You can't just insure, you know, unlimited, exactly. So you have to have a cap and then advise customers to take out additional insurance. Now, when it comes to ordering parcel A and receiving parcel B, that has happened once in our business. And what happened there was, the lesson we took out of that is always order from the vendor. For example, you order from a marketplace. If you order from a marketplace that is not verified, anybody can send you anything. I'm sitting in my home. I'm a dodgy business person. You order a phone, I put a stone in it, and I send it to you in Nigeria. We would obviously deliver a stone to you because that's what was sent. That's just an example. So it's important to order from verified sources and use verified and legitimate delivery companies to have those things delivered to you.
Interesting. As we wind down now, how important in the area, I know you said, of course, there's no life without logistics. I mean, everybody, there's no life without media also.
We can't do without TV.
It's information.
Yes, well, I guess, yes.
All right. So, but how important are you in the job creation space? How much impact are you guys making?
Okay, with job creation, we can't exist without the team that we have. My partner and I started this business in 2013, and we've grown because of the team we have behind us.
So like how many people do you have in your employment?
We're 26 at the moment. So we're 26 full-time and part-time staff. When I say part-time, I mean like consultants. Well, I'll say 27 actually. So the impact has grown over time. As we continue to grow, for example, if we buy more bikes, we have more hands to employ. We've taken people from, zero, honestly, to, I would say, hero at their level. We continue to impact our riders in particular. They mean a lot to our business. We try and find new ways, innovative ways of just taking care of them. For example, HMO cover for themselves and their family members, accident insurance, such that even if a rider goes to Olumorok, for example, and breaks his leg, he's covered under insurance. Although he's not on the job, he's covered because he's lost his primary resource, I would say his feet, which he needs to use to ride the bike. So we cover them in that instance. So when you say impact, we're providing these salaries to these people and helping them health-wise, lifestyle-wise, and so on. So yeah, we have made an impact on the labor market.
On the labor market.
Yes.
And pandemic has not discouraged you guys?
The pandemic didn't. No, at first, we had a hybrid model in the peak of the pandemic, but right now
because
we're
people were
working
just at home, just
exactly.
giving orders, so it was actually
So it was only the riders that were coming to work. Only the riders, and
then
of course
we were
virtual, and they became frontline. They literally became frontline.
Yes, I remember
during
that.
during those days.
All right, supply chain disruption exists in Nigeria, and we do hope that we can find a way around it. Thank you so much, Kikelomo Fola Ogunia, co-founder of Jan Tugidi. Wish you the best.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
And we wish more creation of jobs.
Yes, there will definitely. We're growing, we're expanding, and we're going to create more jobs, not just in Lagos, but in other states in Nigeria.
Sure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so that was supply chain disruption. But afterwards, we're going to discuss, I mean, recently we've had IMF and World Bank some minutes ago on the Russia invasion. I talked about World Bank, you know, and their offer, their aid. But there's some analysts who say that perhaps some of their suggestions should not be wholeheartedly embraced by economies. We'll find out why, and that will be after the break here on Business Morning, coming to you on Channels Television.